Why does female attraction occur when you get on NoFap and semen retention? Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because back then, when I first got on NoFap and retention and I first started to quit porn, etc., all these guys were telling me female attraction was gonna occur. Women are gonna climb over mountains and scavenge the Savannah Desert. Holy shit, bro. I'm selling, but basically the point is they're telling me all this female attraction is gonna occur in, did I see it? I mean, kinda, but in a way, like, they were telling me females can smell the retention on you and shit. It was like some weird spiritual stuff, like they can feel your energy through the air wavelengths, or I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. But what I can tell you is that yes, NoFap does make you more attractive, but it's not a fucking magic pill, not a chick magnet machine, bro. But I'm gonna attempt to explain it because yes, there's some truth in it that female attraction occurs, but is it mystical magic pills that fucking, is there a magnetic force that attracts women? I don't think there is, but somewhere in between there is the truth, alright? And what I can say is, I think female attraction occurs on NoFap and semen retention because of your demeanor. I mean, it's common sense. If you're a guy, right, and you're not on NoFap, you're relapsing, you're watching porn, you're gonna have this type of energy about you. Now, energy, people might call it spiritual. I don't think it's spiritual because energy is a real thing. I'll give you an example. If I'm talking like this, then I clearly have low energy. But if I'm talking like this, I have high energy, right? So it's a fucking real thing. So energy is not this mystical, magic, spiritual shit. It's a real thing. It's the type of energy you give off to the world, alright? So if you're a fucking porn-headed simp, then you're gonna have this needy energy about you. You're gonna be like, oh, women, I have no women. You're gonna be looking around, you're gonna be fucking pantsing for women, bro, like a horny dude. But when you get on NoFap, you start taking control of your mind. I say this all the time. You get on NoFap, you take control of your mind. You stop watching porn. You stop letting your body and your mind control you and control your actions, and instead you say no to fapping, you say no to porn, and you actually have control over your body. That means it changes your fucking demeanor as a whole, okay? Women, if you're around women and you're on NoFap, then they can sense that you don't have this needy energy, especially because you're not trying to fap or necessarily have sex as often, because you understand once you get on a good streak on this journey, you start feeling good, you start feeling happier, and life gets better. So if you're on NoFap, chances are you're not focused on women, and women can sense that just off of your demeanor and energy, okay? But when you are not horny and you're not desperate for women, then women can sense that. And basically the reason why they can sense that dates all the way back to the beginning of time, alright? There's some crazy statistic that I heard about like a few years ago. I want to bring it up again because it's just that important for you males to understand, especially in today's day and age. Back then, and I think it's true now, that 80% of women reproduced back then, and only 20% of men reproduce. So basically all that fucking means, all that you need to know from this is that 80% of men did not have sex with women and have children throughout all of human time, and the top 20% of men were the only ones who got bitches, and they're the only ones who had children that exist today. Their bloodline exists today, basically. That also means is that all of the women basically flock to the 20% of men. What's the 20% of the men? You think it's going to be the fucking loser part of the men? No. The 20% of the men that the 80% of the women flock to were the successful guys. And you see that today, bro. You see that in your fucking job. Like, women always say they want the tallest, the most charismatic, the richest guy. They're looking for all these top tier attributes when it comes to guys. Men, you and me on the other hand, you're just looking around, you like, shit, I'm fine with any one of these, you know what I mean? They're all look pretty decent. There's 7, 8s all around you. We don't even we don't really give a fuck. But women, they always want the top tier, alright? So that means they always go for like the best men. And the best men were the only ones who reproduced in all of human time. So those men, the top 20% had a lot of fucking women. They had a lot of women, which means their demeanor changed towards women. When you have a lot of women, or you see a guy who's a fucking G, he's a pimp, he has so much fucking women in his phone that are texting him all the time. When he's around women, he gives off this type of demeanor where he doesn't come across as needy. He doesn't need the woman attention. He doesn't want to fucking talk to them. He's not always like, he just has that demeanor about himself. There's some energy that comes with that. And the same thing happens when you get on NoFap and semen retention. You have this demeanor about yourself because you're not trying to fuck around with women a whole bunch. You're not trying to talk to them necessarily. You're more focused on your own life than you are women. So the same demeanor comes with that. You're not coming across as needy and stuff. So the same demeanor as the top tier male has towards women, you have the same demeanor on NoFap. So both of you guys have the same demeanor. And since women are attracted to the top tier males, since they're biologically evolved to only be attracted to top tier males, since you both have the same demeanor, then women start looking at you as if you're the top tier guy. And that's why I think female attraction occurs, man. And you know what? Females, a big part of that is because women feel a lot more than men. Men, you and I, we don't give a fuck really about our emotions as much. Unless you're a soy boy piece of shit, you don't really care about your emotions. You're more focused on the logical side of things. But women, on the other hand, they're on the completely opposite side of the human spectrum. Women are more focused on how they feel than they are about getting results. Men are more focused on what's going to get them like results, like what's actually going to help them. That's why men don't focus on their emotions, because if you focus on your emotions, if you feel like working, you're going to work, sure, but when you don't feel like working, you're not going to work. That doesn't get you results. Women, on the other hand, if they're hungry and they don't feel good, they don't want to work, then they're going to listen to their emotions more. They're just biologically hardwired that way, and it's not a bad thing. It's just different from men. Alright, so with women, they're more in tune with their emotions. They like feel, they feel the shit out of their emotion. I don't know, you and I can't understand because we're men, but I don't know, women, they just I don't know, bro. Their emotions like dictate their life basically, so they understand and they're more sensitive to feeling things. So if they feel energy coming off of you that you're needy and desperate, they're gonna be like, who the fuck is this horny bitch? You know, because think about it, who's the guys who are horny? All men who don't get women are horny. And if they don't get women, then that means they're probably not a good man, right? A homeless guy comes across as needy to women, right? So if you're a normal fucking piece of shit dude who's average and you come across as needy as women, you're not any different. You're not any different, bro. Women, they're more attracted to guys who have a lot of women, okay? That's because that means you're a good man. Basically, if there's a fucking G, he's rich, he's sexy, he's tall, charismatic, whatever. Let's say he has all of those things, and he has lots of women around him. The more women he has around him, the more women are gonna want to be around him. Okay, when you have no women, then that means you're probably not a good guy, right? Because you don't have any women, and women are gonna be like, nah, this guy has no bitches, so I don't want to be around him, because if no one else wants to talk to this guy and be with this guy, then I don't want to be with this guy. That's how women think. So I think that's why female attraction occurs on NoFap. It's because you don't come across as needy as all the other guys. So it's as if you have all the fucking women in the world that you could possibly need. And since women only date the guys who are capable of getting other women, then that means, you know, they look at you as the top tier guy when you have that demeanor. That's why I think female attraction occurs. Sure, there's other things. Sure, When you get on NoFap, you have more time to hit the gym and self-improve yourself and look good and feel good. You're more confident, yeah. Sure, there's these other things, but I think that's the main thing. The main reason why there's this phenomenon that female attraction occurs. I don't think it's some spiritual energy flowing through the atoms of the universe that just reaches women and they intuitively sense your seed. That's fucking nasty, bro. I wouldn't want to date a woman who can sense that I'm on semen retention, that they can just smell it on me. That's fucking weird as shit. If any woman comes up to you and says they can smell the semen retention on you, I need you to immediately turn 180 degrees away from that woman and start going into your most strong and most powerful Ashton Hall sprint away from that woman, bro. Because that bitch, she's been through some shit, bro. If she can smell the semen retention on you and NoFap on you, don't be around that woman, bro. She's fucking done all the drugs. She's been railed. She's gone through it all, bro. Get away from those women who can smell the semen retention on you, bro. I'm telling you. But this is a logical, like, analysis on why female attraction occurs.